Welcome to Joyfully at Home. Today we're going to be making a banana cream pie from scratch with a scratch crust. This pie will be featured in our ebook that will be coming out before the end of the month with a variety of seasonal pies in it. We're going to start with our crust, and we need one package of, I generally use cinnamon graham crackers. You can use honey if you prefer. The cinnamon just gives a little bit of extra flavor. I hand crush them a little bit while they're still in their package just to make sure that they fit in your food processor well. Go ahead and put your lid on, and then you will go ahead and let them spin and crush to a fine crumb. Once you have your graham cracker crumbs all crushed, you'll add a 1/3 cup of sugar and a 1/3 cup of melted butter. Your lid will go on again, and then you just pulse. Take your lid back off and check your texture. It should be like wet sand at this point. They'll give you that sandy texture, and it's ready to put into your pie plate. We'll take our crumb mixture, which was very easy to make, and it has a lot more flavor than a store-bought crust. But if that's what you have access to, a store-bought crust, graham cracker will work just fine with this pie also. And if you prefer a pastry crust, you can use a standard pastry crust as well. Just make sure that if you use a standard pastry crust, you blind bake it first to make sure that your crust is cooked when you put your banana cream filling in. Now that you have your crust all firmly packed down into your pie plate, you can go ahead and layer one fresh banana into the bottom of your crust. This will be underneath your cream filling that we'll be making next, and it will give this a wonderful fresh banana cream flavor. Once you have your crust in your pie plate and your banana layer down, I generally put the crust in the refrigerator for just a few minutes while we're making our filling. Gives the butter time to stiffen up a little bit in the crust. Now, to make your filling for your banana cream pie, you'll start with 3 cups of milk. It can be whole milk or it can be 2% milk. The problem with a skim milk is there's not enough butterfat content to really help your filling to set up. So you're going to want to use a 2% or a whole milk for the filling. From there, you'll add a teaspoon of salt, add 2/3 cup of sugar, and a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Make sure that you incorporate that, whisk it into your milk till it's well mixed, and then we'll start heating our milk. Once you have your cornstarch, sugar, and salt all in your milk, you'll whisk, and you'll whisk continuously until your mixture starts to boil and thicken. It'll take about 5 minutes. And once your mixture starts to thicken, that's when we'll incorporate our eggs. And that's a very important step and very important timing so your eggs don't curdle. Now that you can see your mixture is beginning to thicken, you take your thickened mixture and start to temper your egg yolks. There's 4 slightly whisked egg yolks. And you take a little bit of your hot cream liquid And continue to put it into the egg yolks and whisk. By doing that, you're tempering your egg yolks. So when you add your egg yolks back into your cream, they're already warm and your egg yolks will not curdle. So as you then pour them all in here, you have no worries about your egg yolks curdling. If you were not to temper your egg yolks, you would wind up with little bits of scrambled egg in your egg cream. Nobody wants that in their pie. Once you have all 4 of your egg yolks tempered and added back into your cream mixture, you're going to stir constantly. You can use a whisk or a spoon at this point, and you're going to keep whisking until your mixture thickens and it boils. You need to boil for 1 minute to make sure that your eggs are boiled properly. Now that you can see your egg cream is really nice and thick and you've boiled for 1 minute, that's when you'll add a tablespoon of vanilla, and you will add 2 tablespoons of butter. Whisk those in till your butter is melted and your vanilla is mixed. Once you have your vanilla and your butter completely melted and incorporated into your egg cream, you'll come back to your pie shell with your bananas in the bottom, and you will pour your egg cream over the top, making sure your pie shell is nice and full. You may have a little bit of egg cream left over depending on the size pie shell you're using. You quite often will use a 9-inch, some are 10-inch, some are 8.5, so that depends. Once you have your pie crust completely full, you take a piece of plastic wrap, lay it directly over your filling, and it's fine to put it over your hot filling. This keeps your filling from developing what's called a skim on the top, where it gets a thick, somewhat tough layer on the top as it cools. This plastic wrap will prevent that. Now it's time to just set it into the refrigerator and allow the whole thing to cool. Then we can top it with our homemade whipped cream. Now to go ahead and make our fresh whipped cream topping for our banana cream pie, we'll use 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream and 1/4 cup of sugar. You can put both in at the same time. You want to start with a chilled bowl and a chilled whisk for your mixer. It will make your whipped cream whip up faster. Once our whipped cream is whipped to stiff peaks, we can chill this until our pie is ready to top with our whipped cream. When your whipped cream is stiff peaks, it will have a nice stiff look like this, and you'll be able to pick it up and it will form those stiff peaks. So now that your pie is completely cool, we're going to add 1 more layer of bananas just on the top of your cream, and then we will add our whipped cream to the top, and you'll have one wonderful fresh banana cream pie. This recipe for the banana cream pie, along with others, will be in my ebook that will be available on the website by the end of October.